kiloton thermonuclear detonation.
Welcome back to Scale Model Kit Review Studio, and welcome back to another painting series. This time it is from the Sci-Fi Channel series Battlestar Galactica, and this is Rear Admiral William Bill Adama. And of course this is the great actor Edward James Olmos, who portrays the character of Admiral Adama. Admiral Adama was a veteran of the First Cylon War. He serves as the commanding officer of the Battlestar Galactica. This is a 3D printed bust, custom printed by NY3D Creations. He's a little bit larger than 1/3 scale, but he is a good size here. I'll show you some photographs of the raw print. And this, of course, is the base coat primers that I used. The black is the black SEM out of the can spray paint. That settles down really nice, and it lets me know what I may need to trim and all that. And I'm looking now, I can see I need to trim his rank insignia on the bottom. There's some supports there that I did not see earlier. And then, of course, I went ahead with the black on his head, but I want to go ahead and do a light gray. The light gray I used is the Monument Hobbies Pro Acryl Bright Warm Gray. Also that comes with this is a little logo from the Battlestar Galactica BSG 75, the Rising Phoenix. Very cool there. Let's give you a closer look at this wonderful sculpt. There's a lot of detail here. And I chose the sunken eyes. The eyes have a lot of detail here, but just look at the detail of his skin. The derma, it's just fantastic. Go all the way around. And his hair is a light brown with some gray highlights. But that's him right there. The head does come off, so I can paint him separately. And then the bust itself, very nice, very detailed, just like the uniform he wore on the series. And the rank insignia buttons. Pilot wings. Very cool. Very detailed here. And I'll come back with some updates as I go along. We're actually painting this live on YouTube through Gilbert Mondragon's Paint Up series, The Way of the Dragon. And if you don't know about that channel, I'll put a link down below to the Styrene Syndicate, where we do these paint ups. Usually about once a month we'll do a figure or a bust or some type of subject matter. And it's a lot of fun. It's always open to anybody that wants to join us. I'll be back after a while. And here you go. Admiral Adama is complete. Give you a side view there. He was a blast to paint, a lot of fun, a lot of detail with this kit, as you know, when I showed you the preview in the very beginning of this video. If you'd like to see this being done, being painted, there's a 2-part video series in my live tab up above where I painted this along with Gilbert, Tommy, Jerry, and Michael. And we all have our own technique on painting this, but in that 2-part series we do show you from start to end how to paint his skin tones and his uniform colors and such, and it was a blast. If there's anything in there that you want me to highlight for you or show you in future paint-ups, let me know in the comments below. Also, let me know in the comments below how you think I did with this. I'm still learning, and every time you do a paint-up, you continually improve on your technique and all that. And I got a lot of nice comments from folks out there on the interwebs for him. And like I said, he was a blast to paint and a lot of fun to do. If you've never painted figures for yourself, I highly recommend you do, because they're very gratifying, and you know, people will tell you that they look almost human-like when you're finished. But like I said, Edward James Olmos had a fantastic role in the new Battlestar Galactica, and this is what represents him. And we like to find bust characters that are highly detailed, and you know, I had a blast with him. So initially I went ahead, I'll just move him to the side. So in the very beginning I painted him in a black Stynylrez, or actually it was black SEM spray can, and from there I went ahead and I primed him with Monument Hobbies light gray, and that had kind of a yellowish tone to it, a greenish tone to it, which is okay. You can have like a greenish underbase, you can have a reddish underbase, pinkish underbase for the skin tone, and then go from there with your colors. So all of his skin tone colors were painted exclusively with Monument Hobbies Pro Acryl flesh color tones, and I take you through that in some of my previous videos that I published here on my channel. So now came the time to paint his eyes, and when I painted his eyes were based upon his character. Now Edward James Olmos has brown eyes. He's Hispanic, as you know, he's Mexican, and for his character, his son had blue eyes. So in order for him to match the character of his son, he wore blue contacts. So when I initially painted his eyes, I thought that I did them in blue, and I thought they were just a little bit too bright, too much contrast with the blue. So when I went ahead and I use UV glue, clear glue, and when I mixed that for his retinas, I went ahead and added just a little bit of transparent raw umber ink to that UV glue, and then I applied it over the retina only, not over the whites of the eyes, but over the retina, and it darkened them up a little bit, but you can still see the blue tint in the retinas, but it's not as bright. So you know, I'm pleased with how that turned out. I did use a lot of pan pastels to highlight him, and of course it's very subtle. I used a lot of splattering, I took a paintbrush and I splattered the paint for all the different imperfections of his skin, and also for his you can kind of see it for his 5 o'clock shadow where he shaves and all that. So you know, that was a lot of fun. Probably the most difficult thing for me was his piping, painting the piping. And I did it after the effect. I started painting the piping. I just did the red, the real dark red piping, and I was like, well, there's in this the sculpt here. It shows two different pipings going along the edge there. So what was the other color? And you could kind of see it was yellow in the photographs. So I searched for his real uniform, and it did sell on an auction site. And there's some wonderful photographs. I'll show you those here of his uniform. And yep, sure enough, the piping is both red and yellow, kind of a goldish. Represents kind of the yellow trim is more of a gold trim, but I think they made it more yellow so it stands out more. And then of course there's close-up of the badges that he wears, his rank insignia and the badge on his chest, so you can see that how that's detailed out there too. And then of course his gray hair, that's what he's known for, and I had to kind of bring that out too, a little more than the simple dry brushing that I started off with. You really can't see it when the lights hit it, but here I think you have a good example. You can really see it in the video here. So there you go. Alright, so I'll go ahead and throw a few photos at the end of this video so you can see what it looks like in those beauty shots. And please comment down below. It all helps out. If you like my content, smash that like button and subscribe, please. All the subscriptions do help. Also, I will be at Wonderfest here in 2024. So if you see me walking around, come on over and say hello. I'd love to meet you. With that, happy modeling, everybody, and take care.